Yo, what up everybody? It's me, Fitness65, bringing you a new video. Now today's just going to be my Wrestlemania 26 predictions video. Wrestlemania 26 is this Sunday in Phoenix, Arizona, and the card looks like it's going to be a real good, the card from top to bottom looks like it's going to be a real good Wrestlemania from top to bottom. I mean, every match looks good. There's not one match that looks like it's going to be bad except, well, with the exception of the Bret Hart Vince McMahon match. Every match just looks like it's going to be promising and looks like it's going to deliver. And based on how most of the matches have been hyped and most of the matches have been given hype, they look like they should be able to turn out to be good matches based on how the hype and the promos for every one of the matches were on Raw and SmackDown. It just looks like it's going to be a good WrestleMania. So we'll start off with the first matchup, which is going to be the Money in the Bank matchup. And that features Evan Bourne, MVP, Christian, Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Matt Hardy, Kane, Shelton Benjamin, and Dolph Ziggler. Sorry about my bad about that. Dolph Ziggler, yeah, Dolph Ziggler. Now this should be a good Money in the Bank matchup. I mean, it won't be a great Money in the Bank matchup. I still think that they should have just gone with the 7 participants or the 8 participants for this Money in the Bank matchup, because I feel there's just too many guys for this Money in the Bank. 10 is too many guys for this Money in the Bank matchup, but I guess the WWE wanted to get a little bit more guys added into this matchup and get a little bit more guys on the pay-per-view. But I guess they wanted to do that. I really don't have a problem with that, but still 10 is a little bit too much to have that many guys in the Money in the Bank matchup. But if there's anybody that I would predict for this matchup, I gotta go with 3 guys. One is MVP, the second is Christian, and the third is Drew McIntyre, based on how they've been building him on SmackDown with this whole losing streak gimmick and how they had him get in the Money in the Bank matchup. I just see those 3 winning. I mean, everybody outside of that, I just don't see winning, or they have no chance of winning this Money in the Bank matchup. But maybe the WWE might surprise us and give one of the guys who I don't predict a chance to win the Money in the Bank, but I just don't see that happening. So my prediction is MVP, Christian, and Drew McIntyre to win the Money in the Bank matchup. But again, there's 10 is just way too many guys for a Money in the Bank matchup, and I think everybody will agree with me that 10 is just too many guys. 10 people is just too many guys for a match like of this nature. But who knows, maybe they might take 2 guys out, like have 2 guys do their spots early in the matchup and then take them out, never to be seen again, and just have maybe 9 or 8 guys fight it out during that whole matchup. We then go to the second matchup, which is going to be for the Unified Tag Team Championships between Show Miz against R-Truth and John Morrison. Now really, this is just one of those matches that is just thrown together to sort of just get R-Truth and John Morrison on the pay-per-view and sort of get the tag team titles on the pay-per-view. Hopefully this match does get enough time and it's not on the pre-show like the tag team match from last year was, even because that was a good matchup, and then that match didn't deserve to be on the pre-show. But the WWE did that because they wanted to give the whole Kid Rock, they wanted to give Kid Rock his performance and have him perform 5 or 6 songs on the show, which was just totally ridiculous, and it killed like the time the tag team match could have, the time the Divas could have got their entrances in there, that 25 Diva Battle Royal matchup, and it killed the match for the tag team match that should have been added on the card. It killed that matchup, and they had to just improvise and put that on the pre-show. But hopefully we don't get any of that, and we get this matchup. We get this matchup on the actual show. I think this will be a very good matchup. R-Truth and John Morrison will do their usual moves and their usual spots in this matchup. Big Show and Miz will shine in this matchup, so this should be a good matchup. I mean, it won't be as good as the tag team unification tag team matchup from last year, but it will still be a good matchup. And I expect Big Show and The Miz to retain the tag team titles, because I don't see R-Truth and John Morrison as a long-term team, and I think the WWE doesn't see them as them as a long-term tag team as well. So expect Big Show and Miz to retain the tag team titles. And if you've been watching Raw the last couple weeks or SmackDown the last couple weeks, John Morrison and R-Truth have been getting the upper hand on Big Show and Miz, and we all know how that works in the WWE, where someone gets the upper hand for three or 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. They usually make you think that those guys are gonna win, and then they swerve you and have the the champion or the tag team champions end up going over. So I see the same thing happening in this matchup. So the third matchup on here, which I believe will be this matchup, is going to be CM Punk against Rey Mysterio. The stipulation for this matchup is if Rey Mysterio loses, he joins the Straight Edge Society. Really, the build to this matchup has been good. I mean, even though this matchup has been getting at least 2 weeks worth of build, it's been probably one of the best build matches on SmackDown, even better than the Edge versus Chris Jericho build. The Chris Jericho matchup, the build to that matchup the build to this matchup has been way better than Chris Jericho and Edge. The Chris Jericho Edge matchup, the Chris Jericho Edge build on SmackDown, and that's the world title matchup, and that's pretty sad. I mean, that tells you a little bit. That tells you something when this matchup is getting better build than the world heavyweight title matchup. I mean, that tells you a whole lot of something right there. But yeah, the build has just been good. It's been excellent. Punk's been excellent on the mic. Rey Mysterio's been excellent on the mic leading up to this feud, and it's just been real good, and I expect this matchup to be real good, and I hope the WWE gives this matchup a lot of time, and they don't give us something like a JBL Rey Mysterio type of a squash type of matchup. Hope these guys get at least 10, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, because these guys deserve it, and I know these guys will put out a good matchup, and if they get that time, then these two will put out a really good matchup, and it'll probably be one of the best matches of the night on that show. But that's just depending on whether the WWE gives this matchup enough time, or they just give us a squash matchup, which I'm not hoping for. So this matchup gets 10 minutes. This will easily be one of the matches of the night, maybe the second, maybe the third best match of the night on the card. But yeah, my prediction for this is Rey Mysterio to go over, to sort of set the feud up for the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views. Yeah, to set the feud up for the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views. So yeah, Rey Mysterio to go over against Punk at WrestleMania 26. The next matchup on here is the triple threat matchup between Randy Orton against Ted DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes. Now, we all know the build-up to this matchup has just been pure shit, with WWE giving two money-making matches for free on Raw. Like the last 2 Raws they gave before the matchup from this past Monday, they've been giving 2 money-making matches away on Raw, and that's just bad right there, as 2 of those matches could have been easily the matches at 2 of those matches easily could have been the 2 matches. One of the 2 could have been easily the matches on the WrestleMania 26 card, but the WWE decided to do the other route and have these guys face off in a triple threat matchup, which is pretty dumb because there's really nothing these guys can fight for. I mean, I guess it's just to see who's better than who type of thing, I guess. But overall, I just think it's a stupid concept to have these 3 guys fight in a triple threat matchup when both guys don't really have nothing. All 3 guys really don't have nothing to fight for. But overall, if I had to pick for my prediction for this triple threat matchup, I gotta go with Randy Orton, because there's no way I see them having Ted DiBiase Jr. go over or have Cody Rhodes go over. And plus, both guys beat Randy Orton the last 2 or 3 weeks. So Randy Orton's due to get his revenge and get his win back. So yeah, Randy Orton to go over in this triple threat matchup. The 5th matchup on here is between Triple H and Sheamus. Now, the build-up has been real excellent. It all started at the Elimination Chamber, where Triple H cost Sheamus the WWE title, and Sheamus wanted to get his revenge because he lost the WWE title by attacking Triple H like the following week after the Elimination Chamber matchup. He bicycle kicked Triple H and he beat Triple H down, and then that led to probably one of the best promos that I've seen in a while on Raw, with Triple H cutting a promo on Sheamus saying he's fought a lot of guys at WrestleMania. Some guys failed and some guys triumphed on him and made a name for themselves, and he was asking Sheamus if Sheamus wanted to make a name for himself and sort of build his character back up to face Triple H at WrestleMania. Of course, Sheamus accepted, and they ended up brawling, and it's just been one of the best built matches on